description there.
All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Oh, main internal. Boom, boom, boom. Mic check.
Hello?
No.
Hello, 3, 2, 1. Darren's getting pissed off waiting. Okay, tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. So Darren, big fight coming up this weekend. Froch Kessler. Froch, someone you go back a long, long way with. I mean, what do you think this fight means to Carl and his career?
I think it's his legacy, which is, I wouldn't say on the line, but he's created an absolute, star name for himself, and it's about just cementing his legacy now. And I think this rematch with Kessler is just that. And I honestly can't wait for it. I'm buzzing. I'm so glad that I'm part of Matchroom, so I've got a good seat for Saturday night. People might not know that you go back a long, long way with Carl. You were at Hennessy Sports together. You sparred hundreds and hundreds of rounds with him over the years, some of which I've been privy to. It was a good 5-6 years ago now. But you and Carl do go back a long way. I mean, tell us a bit about Carl as a person, as a character, and sort of how he's changed with the spotlight growing on him. Well, first and foremost, painful memories. But there are experiences that brought me on as a fighter 100%. I was sparring with Carl. It brought me on massively. It was the same as an amateur, sparring with top fighters. It's how you improve. And Cole is such a determined person. He does everything to point. He doesn't leave anything to chance. He works his nuts off, if you like. And I think that's shown the hard work he's put into his career, and look where he's got. And he's a great man. He's a proud man. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and we'll see that on Saturday. But I've got to give a lot of thanks to Cole for my career. I've had them hard battles with him, but they brought me on loads.
Yeah. Obviously, you've got some of your own good news now. It's not often that we actually do interviews when you've got some good news. There's always something. There's always something going around the corner, unfortunately. But you have got a fight, big fight, August 17th with Daniel Geale in upstate New York. I mean, of all the guys that you could have fought, Geale would have been right at the top of the list, wouldn't he?
100%. It makes sense as well with the year we got with the Australian British sort of rivalry going on. We've got the Lions out in Australia, we've got the Ashes, and what a trio with myself fighting Daniel Geale. I remember him from the amateurs. Funny enough, when I won the Commonwealth Games of 2002 at light welterweight, he won them at welter. So I remember him around the circuit, the amateur circuit. He was a standout amateur star for Australia. And I'm just over the moon, like you say. It was I personally think I was the perfect opponent, as far as me winning the IBF Intercontinental, along with the rivalry. And I'm just buzzing. I can't wait to get in there now, show what I'm about, and I truly believe this is my time. Like you say, it's nice to be doing a positive interview. I've had my share of bad luck, but that's all behind me now. Physically and mentally, I'm in a different place, and I think I'm in my prime, and it's my time.
What do you make of Geale? I mean, he's had some big fights, and he's fought on the road a lot. I mean, this time he's in neutral territory in America rather than in Germany, or fighting someone who might have even been a bit more popular than him in Australia, or he might be massively unpopular in Anthony Mundine. Yeah. But you've got him in neutral territory. That makes a big difference. But he's got a lot of experience now, hasn't he, Geale?
Oh, 100%. He certainly brings that to the table. It is his experience, and he's not afraid to travel. And that's off. I was over the moon when I found out it was a neutral ground, because I would have happily gone to Australia. So it's in New York. I'll probably have 3 Australian judges in Australian rep. But no, I'm buzzing. I'm just so thrilled to get the opportunity, and I respect him as a fighter. They don't hand out these genuine world titles for nothing. He's worked his way up the rankings, beaten some good fighters along the way. You mentioned a few there, Stern, Mundine, etc. Good fighters, Sylvester, who he won the title off. But they're past their primes. I am, be it 31, just turned 31. Because momentum has been against me. I haven't been able to get rolling, but I have now. I've had 2 fights behind me at the minute. I fought Kerry Open in December and Rotolo in March, and just feeling just better than ever. I know it's a cliche and everyone says it, but I genuinely do. For me, it's not one or the other. Physically, I'm in a good place, but mentally, the experience I gained against fighting Martinez when I was in such a bad place physically and mentally, the experience is invaluable, and I think that will hold me in good stead in this fight. I've just got belief, and my body's there. My body's held together. It feels fantastic, and fights. I just can't wait to get in there now.
You talk about experience. You've just had a new experience as a trainer on Saturday night with Lee Purdy's audacious attempt at Devon Alexander. Lee was obviously a big underdog. You decided to withdraw him from further punishment. Are you pleased with that decision now with hindsight, and how are things with you and Lee now, who was clearly upset in the night?
Oh, Lee's, we're so close, we're not only gym mates, we're really good mates. And he respected my decision, and he had 4 weeks notice, and he was fighting one of the top guys in world boxing. They're talking about him fighting Floyd Mayweather. He had 4 weeks notice. He had to shift a fair bit of weight. The last 24 hours were hard for him, and got to round 7. He was way behind on the scorecards. And Lee's young. He's 25. He's got a fantastic future ahead of him. He's gained some invaluable experience now, and it'll only hold him in good stead in the future. And I think there's some massive fights out there for Lee. But he's in New York now with his girlfriend. He's not banged up. He's healthy. He's strong, and he'll come back better than ever. And I just want to say I'm so proud of him. We're all so proud of him. The nation should be proud of him, because a guy who only had 6 amateur fights, 20 odd pro fights, to go in there and handle that situation, that occasion, and put in a performance like that, hats off to him.
Did you tell him at any time that you had one more round, that you were going to give him one more shot, or was it just the decision was enough's enough?
Yeah, I think it was 2-3 rounds previous. I said you're going to have to start picking it up, because it was getting towards the midway point and he was behind on the scorecards, and for me to be able to let it continue, he'd have had to been touch and go at the halfway point, and it wasn't. It was just slipping away from him, and against a quality experienced fight like Devon Alexander, it was always hard playing catch up, and you can't. I had to think of Lee's health. That was the most important thing. He's such a good friend of mine, and he's a gym mate, and his health's more important than looking. He's got a puncher's chance. He'll come again. If he would have had 6-8 weeks training for that, who knows what would have happened.
Just 2 things in closing. The middleweight division is busy at the moment. We've just seen Martin Murray go very close against Sergio Martinez. Did you think Martin did enough to nick that?
Oh, it was so close. It was hard. I'm glad I weren't a judge. There was not much in it, and he probably could have just nicked it. Hats off to Martin. Fantastic effort. And as a fan of British boxing, I'm proud of what he achieved out there, and hats off to him and Oliver. I had the privilege of meeting Oliver Harrison the first time in Atlantic City, and he's a lovely bloke, and I wish him all the best in the future, and I'm sure there are fights that will happen. I mean, it'd be robbing the British public, the boxing public, if you like, of these fights. And I know Martin's game for it. I'm game for it. So if when I beat Daniel Geale, what better opportunity to fight Martin in a massive British blockbuster?
Would you rather be fighting Daniel Geale than the guy that Matthew Macklin's got, Gennady Golovkin? And how do you see that fight going?
At the end of the day, I'm an experienced fighter. I've been boxing, for 18 years now. And back when I fought Martinez, he had the same sort of stature, if you like, as Golovkin has now. Everyone was petrified of him. He just destroyed Sergio Zinzeruk and flattened Paul Williams. No one wanted to go near him. And I stepped up to the plate, and I was happy to fight him. And I'll be happy to fight Golovkin. Gill's the man in front of me now. And once I beat him, I'll be happy to go and fight these guys in unification fights.
How do you see Macklin Golovkin going?
It's going to be a fight that if I wasn't a boxer and if I didn't have one eye on it, being a middleweight, a rival to these guys, I'll be watching it anyway, because I think it's going to be fireworks. Both massive punches, both do get caught, and I look forward to watching it. But if you're asking me for a prediction, I do strongly favour Golovkin.
And then, should you beat Geale on August the 17th and you bring a world title back here, is that the key that unlocks all those domestic fights?
I think so. And, my prediction means nothing as far as Macklin Golovkin's concerned. And he's got his part to play as well. He could bring that title home. And, yeah, I think it is the key to unlocking these big domestic fights. And, you can be sure I'll play my part.